other countries as well. And of course, for the welcoming remarks, may I call on Mr. Gaya Berba. Para lang sila.
Hello. Yes, good afternoon again, everyone. Thank you for coming to our event. Pasensya na for the wait. Medyo na-delay na nga tayo ng sandali. But it's gonna be worth your time because we're gonna be presenting to you Dragon Saga. Sino naman familiar dyan sa game? Anyone tried it before? Meron naman nag-try ng game?
Yes.
Yes. So how do you find it?
Nostalgic.
Okay. Okay. So basically, we'll be having raffles. We'll be talking about the game later. We'll be having snacks and we'll be having exhibition dungeon runs. So doon sa dungeon runs na yun, you will be competing 4-on-4 and the winner will have a prize as well. So that's it. Hopefully you enjoy your time, your stay, and you learn more about the game. To speak more about it and this event, we have here Romulo Reyes for the keynote speech.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. Thank you for coming. I know medyo mahirap yung weather tapos ma-traffic. Again, I'm Romulo and I'm here to talk about a lot of things, primarily Dragon Saga Philippines. Just to give you a background there, this is actually personally a full circle experience for me. 8 years ago, actually I was part of the management team of a company called E-Games. Sino bang nakakatanda sa E-Games? Ayun. So I was operations manager back then, and then we had this game, okay, new game, side-scrolling game called Dragonica. So if you remember Dragonica, right? And fast forward to today, we're currently working. This is, by the way, Dragon Saga Philippines is being published by Gravity Interactive USA. So it's a full circle for me because I've seen Dragonica go, and now Dragon Saga is here with more content, more robust features, and the developer and publisher, Gravity Interactive, is very committed in terms of bringing more games into the market. Okay? So, sino may hawak ng PowerPoint dito? Alright, so who here has actually, by the way, registered, downloaded, and then played Dragon Saga? Because we're currently in CBT right now. Wala pa?
Me.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So, we're currently testing the game, and I hope that you guys are very active in terms of helping us flesh out the server, the gameplay, and the connectivity. Actually, I'm very thankful that the developers themselves are in the game. So unlike other games out there na kung saan may game, re-release na nila, the developers of Dragon Saga are very much committed in bringing the full experience to the Filipino. So much so that they spend a lot of time in-game right now. So if you want to meet the developer, I'm not gonna say what their names are, but you can medyo ma-chat naman sila. You can chat with them in-game, okay? So, another aspect of the game, of this product that I'm very happy with is Gravity itself. I've spoken with their Vice President, Mr. Andrew Park, and if you remember, we previously launched Ragnarok Journey months ago, diba? If you were a part of our previous, what do you call this, engagement. Now, this is the second game that they are going to release. Well, have already released. And he's very excited about the community for Ragnarok Journey, and they're bringing in Dragon Saga. In fact, the Filipino community has actually surprised Mr. Park and the entire Gravity organization. They weren't expecting the huge number of players playing Ragnarok Journey right now. So, and they're committed to bringing more games. Now, Dragon Saga is the second game. If you know the site warportalph.com, this is the second game available. And there are many more games that we will release Gravity Interactive will release here in the Philippines on that particular page. So the vision of Gravity in terms of the country is creating a one-stop game portal, War Portal PH, and unifying the entire Filipino gaming community on Facebook. So you'll notice that a lot of the participants here, not just the press, but are also streamers. Okay? So the reason why they're here is because we want to be able to support the streaming community, not just in getting content, pero also growing the streamers' subscriber base. Okay? This is a mutually beneficial relationship that we're looking into and trying to support. So much so in fact that we're going to launch very soon a streamer program. So what is the streamer program all about? So sa mga nag-stream ngayon, I know that it's very hard. I know that it's very hard for you to get off the ground. Diba? I'm a frustrated streamer because I'm technically very shy away. So, but there are a lot of Filipinos out there, students, yung mga nagtatrabaho, they want to become streamers but they don't know how. And they don't know how, they don't have the resources, and they don't have the network. So working with Gravity Interactive, we will try to get all of these people together and then help them create content to get off the ground. So much so in fact that we're already discussing with 4 different universities, AMA, STI, PUP, and FEU, in terms of bringing the the streamer program to their student body. Okay? Alright. So, next slide. So I'm just going to talk about Dragon Saga very quickly here. So War Portal PH is the primary website that we are going to host all of our games. So what is warportalph.com? You go to the website, gagawa ka ng War Portal PH profile. And then from there, you can download all the games. And then you can already immediately look at the community, may forums, and then again, this is not just Philippines, pero War Portal is actually a global brand of Gravity Interactive. So there is War Portal North America, and now there is specifically War Portal Philippines. Okay, next slide. Oh, there's a image of the site. So what is a Dragon Saga? It's a casual, free-to-play game that is side-scrolling action MMORPG na dungeon-based and PvE, very heavy in PvE, player versus environment, and PvP content. But we'll get to that more in a bit. For those who have played the game previously, what I like about it is, I'm not really, sa edad ko, hindi na medyo mabilis yung eye-hand coordination ko. And I spend a lot of time playing console games. So, for Dragon Saga, not many people know, but I actually encourage everyone to buy a gamepad. And then you can play Dragon Saga using your gamepad. Even previous esports competitive players of Dragon Saga in North America, they actually use gamepad to be more competitive. If you don't have a gamepad, no worries. Actually, kahit sira yung mouse mo, okay lang, because you can play the game fully on your keyboard. Alright? Alright, so the game has a lot of features, but the most prominent would be the customization of characters. I mentioned before that the developers are heavily invested in creating content for the Filipino market. And there will be a lot of localized content in terms of customization for your characters. Class variety, when Dragonica came out, there were just around, I think, 4 classes or so. Now they've added 2 new classes, which I'll be discussing later. A couple system, and yung couple system is, if you get married in-game, of course you get buffs. And there are certain things or skills that you can do as a couple. And the pet system is you can get them in-game through quest or item mall, and they can either fight with you, provide you additional stat, or you can use them as mounts. Okay? And there are different mission maps. For the mission maps, this will be a cooperative mode wherein you can go with your group, your party, or your guild, and then defeat different bosses. Okay, next slide. Alright, so these are just samples of the current character customization. We're working very closely with the developer in creating a more localized version of the armor aside from what you're seeing right now. So this is just some of the armor available currently in game. Okay? Now, this is my personal favorite, the warrior, aside from the archer. So, from the warrior, you can branch into two different unique archetypes, which is both defensive or offensive. And then for the defensive, knight, paladin, hanggang maging dragon ka. And then for offensive, gladiator, myrmidon, or overlord. So they would have their own unique skill, their own unique armor set. Next slide. Next, of course, would be the magic user. And then there are two different game styles that you can choose from. Either you support your team, or you actually provide DPS or damage for the group. So it's a monk, priest, invoker, which as you can see would be the more of the healer class. And the next will be the combat type of magician, which is the wizard, warlock, and the sorcerer. So again, a lot of people would say, do they dish out the largest damage in game? The way that Dragon Saga is designed is that nearly all classes, from melee classes, physical projectile classes, or magic-based user, they can all deal damage to a certain degree. But what makes Dragon Saga is unique is there are bosses. If you've played other big MMOs, like Dragon Saga, there are certain attacks that are more favorable in terms of using it against a certain boss at a certain period during a raid. So, I highly suggest that you play all of the characters, find out what game style you'd like. For me personally, I like to get up close and personal, so I use a warrior. Next. Next is the crowd favorite, the archer. So, in fact, yung archer kasi dito, hindi lang pure damage, there are also defensive archers for the group. So what is the defensive archer line? That's a hunter, pathfinder, sentinel. They also give group buffs and attacks that actually enhance the defense or offense of your group. And then, of course, the archetypical offensive archer, the marksman, specialist, and the destroyer. Okay, next slide. And finally, the thief. There's also a support and combat thief, and you don't normally see that in all games. I've played a lot of MMOs, and for my guild, I normally play support. But I've never played a thief na support. Normally, I play a druid na healer or buff or shaman. O kaya, maglalaro ko ng cleric. But in Dragon Saga, your thief who can deal damage can actually support your party. And it's very important kasi I'll be talking about later a guild versus guild and unique system, and the thief is very integral in terms of making sure your guild defends their castle effectively. So the support line is the bandit, the rogue, and the savage. And then for the DPS base, infiltrator, assassin, and ninja. So they're very easy to understand in terms of the line. Okay, next. Now, like I was saying, from the original game, the developers have created two new classes and they're already available. And this is the shaman. So the shaman is multi-role. From the basic line of the shaman, it becomes a summer and elementalist. So they have a mixed role in terms of support and damage. So you do not choose a separate line. However, I think this only becomes available once you hit a certain level. I think level 20 or so. Okay? And then next, this is my new favorite. Twin Fighter. So actually, Twin Fighter is two characters that you control. Only one. Okay? So, tama ba pagka-explain ko? Isa yung character mo, pero dalawa sila because they're twins. Right? So, they become Gemini and then Mirage. Hindi kotse yan, ha? Alright? So, you will actually experience all of these classes later. After this, we'll probably take a short break later and have some food. And then there will be a mini tournament with prizes. Have you guys discussed what the prizes are? Okay. So, yun. And then you can get to play the characters. For me, honestly, sa akin ako ang favorite ko dyan is the Warrior. And then, etong Twin Fighter. So, I highly suggest you check out the new... I've never seen an MMO. I've been playing MMO for 15, 16 years. Hindi pa nga sila tinatawag ng MMO, MUD pa. And this is the first time I've seen you controlling one character pero dalawa sila. Alright, next please. Okay, so this is just a brief image of the couple system I was talking about. So, mag-ingat lang sa girl, which is a guy in real life, if that's your thing. So, chicks-silog. And you know, there's nothing wrong with that, di ba? I mean, pag nagmamahalan kayo, what's wrong? I'm not one to judge, di ba? So, and the couple system is there. But again, that raises a good point. Can we ask, pwede bang maging couple lang boy-boy, girl-girl? Hindi. I mean, they should put it in, di ba? I mean, equal rights, di ba? Okay, so I highly suggest, this is just a tip, early on in the game, once you reach a certain level, and then please get a couple immediately kahit hindi ka niya mahal. Di ba? Kahit hindi ka niya mahal, di ba? Malay mo, may hugot. Di ba? Walang hugot. Marami na akong anak. Okay, so tip ko lang, habang maaga, get a person to couple with you so that you can enjoy the bugs early on. A lot of people, kasi, they actually look for someone they like. Which is very hard in an MMO game and then naging couple sila. Right? Malay mo, it may turn out to something beautiful. Okay, next. Alright, so this is the pet system. This is just a sample of the pets that are available. We're working with a developer. In fact, I think we should put up by the way guys, go to our Dragon Saga Philippines Facebook, like and share that. And there is an official Dragon Saga Philippines community page. We are very, 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 very active. And I'm telling you, 24/7, sinisilip ng gravity yon in the US. And they're very committed in looking and taking into consideration suggestions. And this is one of the things that they need suggestions on what pets would be good for the market or what pets are you looking for. Ako, mahilig kasi ako sa Lovecraftian. Sino mahilig sa HP Lovecraft? Yun, Cthulhu. Cthulhu, di ba? Parang ulo ni Cthulhu, yun yung mo. It's not cute by any means. So, alright, next. Right, this is sample of a mission map. So, for me, I'm a gaming professional by heart. Pero I don't have enough time to play games. And a lot of the sandbox MMORPG games, pag naiwanan ka, talagang iwan ka na. Tatanggalin ka pa ng guild mo. Diba? Naranasan ko na yun, masakit. Hindi naman ako noob, hindi naman ako weak. So anyway, the mission maps is you can play a certain mission at any given time on demand. And it's very important for me. I know it might be something very small and insignificant right now, what you're hearing, pero pag ikaw nagtatrabaho, like for our streamers, making content 12 hours a day and then you don't have actually time to play, then mission maps are very important because you can not just grind pero actually finish quests and reach objectives and then make your character powerful. I don't know if it's in this presentation, pero there's also a new feature in the game. Gravity Interactive has a very, very mature market base. And they know that, di ba? Everyone has grown up, Ragnarok, di ba? Yung mga old games. And I'm already 41 years old, but I still feel 26, and then we will integrate into the game. So, we want to have a very close relationship with all of the guilds in Dragon Saga. So much so, in fact, that we encourage you to be very, very engaged in our official Dragon Saga community page. Alright? Alright? So, guys, thank you. I think the next part of the snacks muna. Alright, so thank you guys for listening to me. I hope I didn't bore you to death. Actually, kahit wala kang guild, the developers have put in a mercenary system. So, what it means basically is a guild can recruit you to fight for them for that.
Guys, ganito gawin Sabi niya,
Scar tayo, scar yung first.
kinasal niya ako.
Pabilisan lang doon.
Tapos nalas tayo.
Ah, talaga?
Sa camera,
Scar
guys.
area
Tingnan mo na
na.
sa camera once.
Stream. Wait, esports mo. Stream.
Oh, esports post. Team.
Chin, astig. Okay, hindi naman tayo sa kabila.
Kulang kami. Gusto lang tayo.
Tapos pag ganun, di ba? Ganun tayo, di ba? Media day pa lang eh.
Kulang sa pag... They're just getting ready. Hindi, nagkira lang kami. So hindi niyo ako mapawala kahit gusto ko.
Huwag kayong makinig sa kanila. Literal, sinasay ko lang nila. Huwag na gamitin mo.
Grabe kayo.
Ba't wala kayong mga ano?
Check, button check. Sorry,
Professional yung
professional. Button check, guys.
Yung code natin, pag sinabi ko necktie.
Guys, yung gears nyo.
Ayun na. Suotin ko na to.
Yung esports nila. Yung gunner yun. Aming gunner.
Hindi ko na lang. Kasi makakapasin naman natin kung may lamila. Ito yung mga skills or paano naman ang event.
100 per hour.
Lipat ng channel sa
Ay,
Twitch.
shit!
Sige, happy ka sa bayo.
Pag hindi nila natapos, sa amin na lang yung price. Tama, diba? Pwede ka mag-revive?
Warlock to.
Hindi ako na lang kasi...
Pag hindi nila natapos yung dati, dati na lang yung price. Tama.
Uy! Ilan remaining?
Tatlo.
Tatlo? Remaining enemies.
12.
Kami?
Ilan yung naglalaro sa akin?
Ilan ka sa inyo?
Dalawa na lang.
Bakit walang mana bullet?
Magbabukas sa isang piso.
Don't die, guys. Don't die.
Lahat ba marami sa inyo?
Hindi. Isa lang.
May Uy! Ano kasi uli ka?
Uy, medyo kwenta. Yes.
Sino may mana bullet? Bakit ayaw gumana ng mana bullet?
Hindi ka pinipresyo pero kaya mo yan.
Two alive. Two remaining.
Ha?
Two remaining.
Vincent, patay mo ang ADR nila.
Bakit hindi magamit yung catapult?
Ayan, pre.
X ba?
X down.
Tapos na. Pagkatapos
Wala eh.
Ay, sinaya ba yan? Oh, sige. Tignan mo, kahit naman. Busit mo! Ayan, remaining nyo.
15.
Teka lang, kinakalaban ba nila yung boss? Uy, may boss pa!
May boss ba?
Yes!
Andito na ba sila?
Wala pa.
Sinabi, ubusin lang yung zero na. Oh.
Competitive mode.
Ha? May share is okay.
Bili kaya kayo ng peder.
Ay, mali!
Pre, marami yan. Problema dito eh.
Kaya mo ba yan?
O, di mo nila gumagala.
Nag-bug-out ko, grabe.
Ilan remaining nga, pre?
13. Pangilang round na to sa boss?
Pre, 13 daw. Ang sabi pa lang naman sa boss. Ano yun?
Can you come here? Parang hindi namin matatapos. Teka lang ha. Mahirap na eh.
Grabe, Will.
comment eh. The moment you comment.
I will want.
Go, Mimi!
Paano, Z? I think, hindi na, bag, hindi nagbabagsak ng mana bullet. Blue yun, alam ko itsura nun. Hindi nagbabagsak. Ayun! Hold press, Z. Kulang pa, isa pa. Bata wala. Ay! Mamamatay ka. May pera ako.
Alright guys, listen.
Ayun! Oh! Sige!
Thank you for listening. Well, anyway.
Sisini.
Because I've been playing a lot of Grand Case before and Grand Rock.
What's your favorite?
Fun, it reminds me of Grand Chess. So, can't wait to go home.
How about you, sir? How's the game so far?
Just get used to it because I came from the other same place I played so far.
Alright, so, ma'am, sir, sabi mo sa akin, medyo matagal ka na nag-alala, right? Ang draconic lang.
Ay, napatay ko yung boss kanina!
Alright. Notice me, senpai. Alright. How's the game so far? Ano kaya yung pwedeng future ng Dragon Saga?
Esports.
Esports ready. Yes.
Easy esports. Kasi ano na yung PvP.
Yeah.
Nandun na rin yung community from before na nagbabalik loob. So, na lang is, esports na yan.
So ibig sabihin, the mechanics is there, everything is there inside one game. So you really liked it a lot, right? And again, Game On PH, congratulations for winning. Palakpakan naman natin. Alright, so you just won 2 headsets and 2 keyboards. Headset, gusto ko pa. So ito, pang boom boom. Saan mo gagamitin to?
Pang lively.
Alright, so congratulations, you've just won 2 headsets and of course 2 keyboards from Dragon Saga PH. Thank you very Alright, once again, Game On PH, guys, pick. Alright. So for now, we're just gonna award all the winners ng raffle. Alright, first, Joseph Aguilis, he just won a power bank.